lot of bands live are kind of strapped to the grid and aren't playing everything that you're hearing, and I think a lot of these festivals you kind of gotta be able to play, you know, whether you're BB King or Mastodon, you know. So
there's no hiding. It's, you know, and you got to keep them there, or they could go see somebody else.
Yeah.
You know? For you guys who, when you go tour, you tour so hard. How do you continue to, challenge your playing on stage? How do you continue to get excited to go out there and try and explore other avenues or find other things to do?
Well, I mean, we have some great players in this band, and Mike being one of them, and Matt, our drummer, is, bordering kind of virtuoso kind of drummer guy. And so, I always feel like I've been like every band that I've been in, going back to my first punk rock band when I was 18, I always played with a great drummer, a drummer who's usually better than me as a musician, and that keeps me driven to be better and to want to be able to play something to get Matt off or to get these guys off or whatever. And I think everybody kind of shares that same spirit, and it's sort of like a friendly, competitive thing in some ways, but it's mostly wanting to like make each other happy, and that's kind of what playing in a band is about. It's about creating something and leaving holes for the other person, and making something that is kind of you can't really talk about it. It's just something that happens every once in a while, and you're always trying to get back to that place, that place where it's just like all like came together. And
that happens with us live, I think, and that happens in the studio, and that happens, I think, from playing together for 17 years. It's and Matt with 10 now. It's we all kind of non-verbally communicate on stage, musically communicate, or I don't know, we'll go into jams and we know kind of where the other guy's going, and we know how to follow or get dissonant on one part, or and that happens from playing together forever. And I don't want to play. I have my most fun and most kind of spiritual experiences playing with this band and with Jeff and than with any band that I've ever been in.
Do you feel like, or do you know yet if there's something different or special that's going to be where this show tonight goes? I mean, I know you guys go night to night. It goes where it goes. But do you feel like this is going to be a different sort of?
There's all the potential for it, and that's all you can ask for, really. It's like the potential for, the crowd to take it somewhere, and for the band to take it somewhere, and there's so many variables in a live show, like technology and the acoustics of the place and the crowd energy and the band energy, and so we're all really stoked to be here. So I think we expect good things,
and we all really care about it too. And Ed, specifically, to speak for him, was when he gets into a show, which is when we're on tour, he thinks about it the entire day of the show, and he's thinking about it the night before, and like where it's going to be like, or what the vibe of the place is like, and kind of feeling it out, and he really cares about it. So I think that shows.
Really cares about it. You're saying every show, or this one in a different
every
way?
show, every single show, he's meticulous about it.
He's one of the only frontmen that doesn't have a shtick. Like, I mean, the great frontmen for big bands out there, but if you see multiple shows of a tour, often they repeat themselves. And we played hundreds and hundreds of shows with him. I've never heard him repeat himself. So that,
look at all the people here today.
Yeah,
be one of
which
them.
is great. I love that.
I love my David Lee Roth, and I do.
You're working on new stuff?
Yeah, everybody's been writing, and we got together and kind of wrote together and rehearsed together and arranged a little bit. Like that was probably like 2 months ago, and spent some time with Brendan O'Brien, who's going to be making the record, and just to kind of see where we were at with it, And I think we got 5 or 6 things that are kind of cool, and everybody's going to go back to work a little bit after we play these shows, and hopefully this fall we have a record.
Any sense yet of what this feels like?
You don't really know. I mean, Ed's going to have a lot to do with that in terms of what he brings in lyrically and the songs that he brings in, and so you know, we really don't usually know until the record's done, because we'll record 15 or 20 songs, and you know, it could be this sort of a record or it could be this sort of a record, and so I think it'll depend on which, you know, what we do the best. If we do some of the experimental stuff better, or if we do some of the.
Let's talk basketball. Apparently there's a rivalry brewing between. I mean, you guys haven't even played each other yet.
Yeah, well, the rivalry started actually by initiated with some friendly emails, and then it kind of turned kind of heated. In fact, I have an email right here, actually.
Oh shit!
This is about the third or fourth email, and it was pretty friendly. It says, "Jeff, you better bring your game Gramps, because the Jacket's going to be balling on all y'all. We're going to put the hurt on your dog."